Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're exploring a new workflow for creating consistent children's story videos for a faceless YouTube channel. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to create videos just like this one.
On a sunny afternoon, near a great old oak tree behind their school, Maya and Leo sat at their favorite lunch bench. The wind rustled the leaves, birds chirped nearby, and everything felt perfectly normal. But then, something caught Leo's eye, something by the bush. He picked up an old lunchbox, metal, blue with silver edges. Inside, nothing but a swirling golden mist. Then came the pull, a gentle tug through time itself with floating numbers. Tiny clock hands spinning in slow circles. The schoolyard vanished.
You can create engaging story videos like this too, but it all starts with a great story. Every strong children's story begins with a solid script and memorable characters. You can write the story yourself, or you can use ChatGPT to help generate it for you. First, I asked ChatGPT to generate 20 children's story ideas featuring 2 main kid characters. Consistency is critical in children's content, so once I picked a story I liked, I fed a custom prompt into ChatGPT. This prompt essentially tells ChatGPT to act as a story architect and generate a complete story package based on specific inputs. In response, it produces a full, scene-by-scene breakdown that includes the script for each scene, along with music and sound effect prompts where appropriate. It also generates image and video prompts for every scene. On top of that, it includes the full, uninterrupted script, as well as detailed character, element, and background image prompts to help maintain visual consistency throughout the entire story. I'll leave the link to the Google Doc in the description so you can use this prompt template yourself. Since this workflow is designed for AI image-to-video generation, the scene image prompts are intentionally simplified. Most of the detail comes from the image references rather than overly complex prompts. You'll need to enter your input data here. I recommend including a short description, the story length, and the story format. Everything else is optional, and if you're not using it, leave it out of the prompt. At this point, I had everything I needed to create my assets. However, I wanted to make a few tweaks, so I saved it to a Google Doc and made some edits before moving forward. You'll likely need to modify your results as well to better suit your needs. Now it's time to generate the images using the AI image tool of your choice. I used Google's Nano Banana inside both Dzine and Google AI Studio. Start by going to Dzine's website and creating a new project. Give it a name and choose your aspect ratio. Since this is for a YouTube video, so select 16:9. The first step is generating your base images. This includes the characters, elements, and backgrounds. I've already generated most of the images I need, but I'll walk you through exactly how I did it. From the left sidebar, choose Text to Image, then select the image model you want to use. There are many options available, but I used Nano Banana Pro. Enter your prompt. I recommend keeping the prompt optimizer turned off because it can mess up your prompt, especially when you're trying to maintain consistency across images. Choose the quality setting. I kept mine at 2K. For aspect ratio, even though I use 16:9 for the characters, I recommend using 9:16. This gives you a closer, more complete full body shot, which makes compositing scenes much easier later. Once everything is set, click Generate. After all of the base images are created, it's time to use Nano Banana to generate the rest of the scenes. For this part, switch to the chat editor. You can access it directly here or under the image you want to edit. At this point, you might be wondering what's left to generate. We already have the characters, elements, and backgrounds, but now we need full scenes. Things like shots with the characters together and alternate views of locations, such as different angles of the schoolhouse. So I'll just click Chat Editor under the schoolhouse image. In the editor, you'll see the schoolhouse loaded as the image reference. For the opening scene, I wanted a back view of the school. You might ask why I didn't just generate the back view first instead of the front. I did it this way so I'd have both angles available, but you could absolutely start with the back view and generate the front later if needed. Make sure Nano Banana Pro is selected, and the quality and aspect ratio are set correctly. This generation costs 20 credits and will take about a minute to complete. Here's the result. And you can see Nano Banana did a great job following the prompt while keeping the school's look consistent. With the background ready, the next step is adding Leo and Maya eating lunch. To do this, add your base images to the canvas. I placed the back view of the school, Leo, Maya, and the lunchbox onto the canvas, and added the first 3 as references. You can use up to 9 reference images. I prompted the model to show Leo and Maya eating lunch at one of the tables, and the result came out great. From there, I reused this image along with the lunchbox image to create the next scene. where the lunchbox appears under a bush in the bottom left corner of the playground and the boy notices it. That result worked well too. You'll use this same process to generate all of the remaining images for your story. If you need to make small corrections or clean up minor issues, you can do that directly in the editor as well. As an alternative, you can also use Nano Banana Pro directly in Google AI Studio by going to aistudio.google.com. The Pro version does require a paid account, but the standard Nano Banana model is still free to use with rate limits. First, make sure Nano Banana or Nano Banana Pro is selected as the model. Then upload your reference image and use natural descriptive language in your prompts. I recreated several of my images this way using the standard Nano Banana, with nearly the same prompts I used in Dzine, and the results were very similar. Once your images are finished, it's time to animate them in Dzine. Go back to your project and open the AI video tool from the sidebar. At the top, you'll see two tabs, Keyframe and Reference, each with its own set of models. We'll be using Keyframe. It offers a strong selection of animation models, and I've found Seedance Lite to be a great option because it produces solid animations and gives you control over both the start and end frames. You also have the option to turn on sound if you want audio included, for a few extra credits. There are options for aspect ratio, quality, and duration. At the time of this recording, each generation costs between 15 and 160 credits, depending on your settings. Before moving on, I want to show you the first part of the storyboard, so you can get a clear sense of the images and video prompts I used to generate the clips. When you see two images for a scene, the first one is used as the start frame and the second one as the end frame. Before creating your videos, I recommend upscaling your images for the best quality. You can do this directly in Dzine. When you download an image, you have the option to upscale it up to 4 times, or you can use the Enhance Upscale tool, which offers several different options. All of the videos I created use a start frame, and some also include an end frame. To add frames, click the start frame icon, and optionally the end frame icon, then upload your image or select one from the canvas. Once your frames are set, enter your prompt and adjust the settings to your liking. I generated my clips at 480p, but you'll likely want to use a higher quality setting for your videos. With the video clips finished, it's time to create the voiceover in ElevenLabs. I've covered ElevenLabs in detail in other videos, so I won't go too deep here. Start by opening the Text-to-Speech tab from the sidebar. On the right, adjust your settings, such as the voice and model you want to use, then paste your script into the text box. For this story, I pasted the entire script since it wasn't very long. If your script is longer, it's better to split it into smaller sections and generate them separately. Once you're ready, click Generate Speech and download the audio when it's finished. Now it's time to use the music and sound effect prompts that were included in the script. For sound effects, you can use royalty-free libraries like the YouTube Audio Library or Pixabay. Just be aware that Content ID claims can still happen on platforms like YouTube, even with licensed sounds, which may require you to dispute a claim using your license proof. Because of that, I sometimes create my own sound effects in ElevenLabs and haven't run into issues doing it that way. In ElevenLabs, go to the Sound Effects tool in the sidebar. Copy one of the sound effect prompts from your script and paste it into the box. And adjust the settings if necessary. You can enable looping, duration, and prompt influence. Higher values usually produce more creative results. If you don't want to share your sound effects with the community, make sure to disable that option here. Click the up arrow, and your tracks will appear in the History tab. 4 variations are created each time, and you can preview them here and download here. For music, I will use the YouTube Audio Library, but you can use any platform you prefer, or even create your own music using Suno AI. As always, make sure it's royalty-free and free to use for commercial purposes. Now that I have all of the video clips, voiceover, sound effects, and music, it's time to bring everything together in Capcut. Here's my timeline with all of the clips already arranged and synced to the narration and sound cues. Most of the clips flow together smoothly, but a few have small visual glitches. In those cases, adding a transition helps smooth things out, so there's no abrupt cut between clips. To do this, go to the Transitions tab, search for the transition you want. Note that a diamond icon means it's a pro element. Then simply drag the transition between the 2 clips. Also, make sure to balance your audio. If necessary, lower the music and sound effects so they do not overpower the voiceover. Capcut has a lot of useful features. For example, I reused this clip and simply reversed it. To do that, just go here and select the reverse option. You'll see why I did this when you watch the final video. I also added a text box over the first clip, applied a preset style, and added a looping animation. Once you're happy, go here to export the video. Make sure video is selected and click export. And here's the final result.
On a sunny afternoon, near a great old oak tree behind their school, Maya and Leo sat at their favorite lunch bench. The wind rustled the leaves, birds chirped nearby, and everything felt perfectly normal. But then, something caught Leo's eye, something by the bush. He picked up an old lunchbox, metal, blue with silver edges. Inside, nothing but a swirling golden mist. Then came the pull, a gentle tug through time itself with floating numbers. Tiny clock hands spinning in slow circles. The schoolyard vanished. In its place, sand, heat, sunlight, and in the distance, pyramids. Maya and Leo had landed in ancient Egypt. They were greeted by a girl wearing a linen dress and a golden cobra headband. She held up a scroll. The lunchbox glowed in Leo's hands. Together, they traced the symbols on the scroll. They solved the riddle etched into stone. The air shimmered, the sand began to spin, and just like that, they were gone. Ancient Egypt melted away into light. This time, they landed with a thud on cobblestone. A young squire met them. He carried a sword and a scroll with a seal. Another challenge. They were here for a reason, to find a lost banner. Together, they searched the courtyard, through archways and stables, down winding stone steps, until at last, they found it. Tucked behind a dusty tapestry, the banner was restored. The castle was safe, and the lunchbox hummed again. The wind lifted, the light swirled, and once again, they were off. Not home yet, just moving forward, or backward, or somewhere in between. Because wherever there's a mystery in time, wherever there's a riddle to solve, two kids and a blue metal lunchbox will be there. Maya, Leo, and the greatest schoolyard discovery of all.
Wow, that was great! For the most part, everything stayed consistent throughout the video. I'm especially impressed with the character consistency, although the lunchbox does appear at different sizes across some scenes. I didn't catch that until after the videos were generated, but it's something that could easily be corrected using Nano Banana. You can use this same workflow to create faceless channels, not just for kids' content, but also for educational videos, storytelling channels, animated explainers, and narrated shorts, for example. If this video helped you, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want more step-by-step AI workflows like this, and let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching.